early today. I'm starting early today. Good morning. Ashe. Hotep. Islam. How y'all doing this morning? I just wanted to talk to y'all about these things. This topic is about new Moors coming into the movement, coming into the Moorish Divine and National Movement. I don't even know if y'all can hear me right now. I thought the water was kind of loud. But this is about new Moors coming into the Moorish Divine and National Movement. Old and young, or rather older or seasoned and younger. I'm finding that a lot of people, a lot of brothers and sisters who come into this movement here recently are unfamiliar with Noble Drew Ali. Some don't even know who he is. But yet he was the man who actually started the movement. He was the man who actually bought us the nationality and taught us about nationality. So for you new Moors who are coming into this movement and you don't know about Noble Drew Ali, you have a lot of studying to do. And I put the blame on some of the other Moors who have been in the movement for a long time. Y'all all playing around here in commerce. Y'all haven't even given up the history of the movement. Y'all haven't even told these people about the movement. Y'all so concerned about commerce and money and straw meeting and all this stuff. Y'all been totally distracted from the movement to where you have people out here. You have Moors actually out here claiming to be Egyptians. Now, that is not good. That's not good, because what I'm seeing is there are a lot of brothers and sisters trying to get out of this system. There are pretty much all of us are trying to get out of the system. There are a lot of us trying to get out of the system. And there are ones who are finding out about Moorish nationality, and they're finding out the wrong way. They're finding everybody is trying to work in through commerce. Everybody. Commerce is not the way. Commerce is good to know, but it is not the way. And in talking to some of these Moors, you don't know the story about Noble Drew Ali going to the Pan American Conference in Havana, Cuba, and getting the mandate for the land. Y'all don't know that. Y'all don't know about him going to the White House and retrieving the Moroccan flag. Y'all don't know that. But y'all not teaching. All the older ones aren't teaching this. Yes. And yes, it is being taught in the temples. Yes, it is being taught in the temples. But the problem with that, and this is not to disrespect the temple or anything like that, y'all drive people away. Y'all are literally driving people away from the temple because of your misunderstanding, because of your crave for power. There are supposed to be elections in the temples, but yet I'm hearing about brothers who've been in the Grand Sheik position for decades. How are you in the Grand Sheik position for decades? And this is there are supposed to be elections going on. The Grand Sheik, the Assistant Grand Sheik, the Chairman, Where are your elections at? Y'all running a dictatorship. And for that reason, people don't want to come. Excuse me. And people aren't listening to you. For one, you're re-enslaving people to Christianity. Y'all are re-enslaving, like the prophet said. If you're not careful, your own brother will re-enslave you. And y'all are re-enslaving our brothers and sisters to Christianity. This is nonsense. Because you don't know the next steps. So you use religion just like everybody else uses religion, as a form of control. That's what y'all doing out there in the temples. That's what I'm seeing. And I know there are a lot of brothers out there that mean well. I know this. I've run into a lot, rather. And the problem is, y'all are outnumbered by the ones who are seeking profit, who are seeking power. We're outnumbered. And it's so crazy. They whatever they are saying attracts people to their stupidity, or their ignorance, rather. So, that said, y'all need to do better. We need to do better, because when the sister told me that she didn't know about the prophet, that was a red flag right there. Y'all all the way in the wrong. And I understand people are going to come in through all kinds of ways. I know people are going to come in through this movement all different types of ways. I came in through, it was just a random happening. It wasn't somebody introducing me to the temple. And I realized this. But at the same time, the people that come into this movement, they encounter different Moors. I've seen people ask for advice as far as the movement and all of that. And the advice that I see given is more or less about the straw man and commerce and all of that. And it's like, what are y'all talking about? They're asking about the movement. You're talking about commerce. So, I'll put it like this. Let me say this. Because y'all are out here misguiding people. I'm going to put myself out there. Anybody that wants to know about the Moorish Divine and National Movement, wants to know about Prophet Noble Drew Ali, wants to know about Moorish nationality, holler at me. I will give you the proper education. I will give you the proper information as far as this movement. I even wrote this in my book. Because nobody knows it. Nobody's teaching it. And y'all misleading our people into some nonsense. But, that's been heavy on my mind since talking to the sister yesterday. Yeah. And people are running away from the temple in droves. Except for those who are, I don't even want to call them, I'm not going to call them brainwashed because they are faithful. I'm not going to call them brainwashed because they are faithful. But you have to learn more than the Circle 7. That's the divine aspect of the movement. But you have to come out of the Circle 7. Bring the lessons with you when you come out of it. But come out of it. From your Sunday schools comes the leaders of the nation. Y'all got to come out of the temple. That's what the prophet said. I didn't say that. Out from your Sunday schools come the leaders of the nation. Y'all have to come out of the temples to practice and exercise the national aspect. And the national aspect is not handled through commerce. Yes, we're dealing with a corporation. Yes, corporations deal in commerce. This is true. But sovereignty is not gained through commerce. So, and that's another thing. Y'all misleading people into filling out all this paperwork and doing all this stuff. And it is obviously not working. So I got my author copies of my book today. So I'm going to do a live and I'm going to go through the chapters in my book. And I'm asking anyone, please, if you have questions or you don't agree with what I said, we can do this on a live right now. I got my book with me now. I don't got my copies. So, yeah, if you have any questions, disputes, challenges, or anything like that, holler at me. Like I said, I'm getting ready to go live with this book here in a minute. I'm doing dishes, as usual. So, yeah, stay tuned for a little while.